street artists influence this generation with pop culture. You'll see graffiti in clothing design. I think that it's going to be even more pervasive in just normal pop culture than just being something that you see on the subway or on a stop sign or on the street.
The term graffiti is actually a term police view under the 594 of the California Penal Code that dictates basically unwanted spray painting, marker scraping, or perhaps window etching type of artwork, if you would, onto another person's property. And that's how the police would define that under the California Penal Code.
Graffiti is a fairly minor crime that's got pretty major implications. We don't make a ton of graffiti arrests. It's a misdemeanor. So on the scale of seriousness of crime, it's not very high, but we do have pretty significant graffiti issues in San Jose. Where we do find that we get our biggest bang for our buck with arrests is working strings. So for instance, you'll find a crew of 4 or 5 individuals who are responsible for $50,000, $100,000 worth of graffiti, and that's just the graffiti that we know about. Not necessarily how many arrests we're making, it's really the quality of the arrests. And so, for instance, in the past couple of years, we've arrested 2 significant crews. One was called Haisu, which stands for Have You Seen Us? And the other crew was an individual by the name of Giraffe, who basically spray painted giraffes everywhere he went. Both of them were prosecuted by the Santa Clara County DA's office. The Haisu crew was actually prosecuted with the gang enhancement, which means they had to do 80% of their time, and there were stricter penalties for what they did because they fit the definition of a criminal street gang. So you're starting to see additional crews pop up that are getting prosecuted under the gang enhancement as well. So it's not necessarily how many we make. We probably don't make a ton, but the number of arrests that we make isn't necessarily the best measure of the impact that we're having. If we can make 7 or 8 arrests, but they're responsible for 30% of the graffiti in a particular neighborhood, then we've made a pretty sizable impact. It goes back to a broader issue of how do we instill a legitimate way for those individuals that are extremely talented, give them an opportunity and really a place that they can do that stuff where it's not going to damage people's property and they're not committing that crime.
I have a really good friend that works at this artsy place in San Francisco where they let kids aging from like 13 to 18 draw stuff, and sometimes it came out nice, sometimes it didn't, but at least they kind of got to express themselves.
At the end of the day, most of the time if I see somebody spray painting a wall and they get caught handing the cookie jar with a spray paint can in their hand, they're probably going to run. They're probably going to chase them. So the relationship there is what it's meant to be. I mean, it's law enforcement trying to stop crime from occurring.